Wow, how time flies. I want to take you down memory lane for a minute. In 1983, and a little before actually, I had become fascinated with Harold Geisel and some of his drawings of model rail, or actually of real railroad structures. Actually, I think he was doing the Reading Railroad, and or Reading, however you want to say it. And I was really fascinated with it. I really liked the green and gray paint schemes that were on that particular railroad. And I had the cover, fortunately, of Model Railroader back in December of 1983 because I had built off of some plans that they had from Harold of these buildings. And I really liked the filigree around the eaves here on some of the buildings, and the finials were really kind of fancy and neat, really kind of Carpenter Gothic for model railroads, which is really kind of cool. And I really liked the wainscot paint job, the kind of a medium green at the bottom and the gray at the top. And it was a nice facility that would work anywhere. As a matter of fact, like I say, it was almost 40 years ago that I built this. I built it on a platform that was essentially across here and stepped down. And it really has lent itself very well in the model railroad worlds that I have built as I've been going along over the several years. It's moved from state to state with me, and it's been in almost every railroad that I've gone to. Really a fascinating complex of buildings, and really like it because it does fit in either in narrow gauge or in standard gauge. It looks right because you've got to take care of your equipment no matter what you do. So you might look into one of those old copies of Model Railroader, or see if you can find some of the drawings of these buildings. They're extremely easy to build. They're small. Some of these are just blocks of wood. I don't know if this one's glued down. Yeah, it is. This one is too. I just took blocks of wood and actually glued the siding on so they're never going to warp. The others of them, some of them have lift-off roofs or a lift-off building where I could put an interior in it. This just sits down on his little floor framework there, hopefully. Again, this one I believe has a lift-off roof, and we can lift that off. This piece comes out as well. I might get into it if I ever decide that I want to do more of an interior in. So just some ideas that you can go by. The other thing, real quick point on this particular module is I really don't like the railroads where they come up to the front of the layout and then they just cut off. And obviously this is, but I have a hillside here that rolls down. So when I go to photograph this now, I have some foreground here that will help my photograph, and I don't have to try and miss all of this fascia that's out here. So this step really is helpful in photographing, and it's very helpful on a lot of my railroad footage around here where I have tracks running. I've actually rolled out towards the front, so I don't have that harsh cutoff as you drop in. So just a hint, you might want to think about it as you make your railroad. If you just set this back just even an inch, you can get a little roll there, and it makes the photographing and video shots on your railroad much more realistic and much easier to shoot than if you just simply chop the railroad off. So until we meet again, go out to your railroad room and let your trains put a smile on your face.